Welcome back to RotoCityTech. Today we're out here in the shop and we're fixing to get started installing another keyless remote entry lock for our camper. Like I've said before, we have 2 doors, and so I reached out to a few companies to send us out locks to try out and test, and this was one of them, Carmtek. I'd reached out to them and they had just recently came out with a 10-digit electronic lock, and they wanted me to film an unboxing and an installation under my camper to show how it worked. So I'm super excited to get this out and see what's different compared to other ones I've seen. Let's begin. We do have our user manual right there. A little thank you card. Another pad here so that if the hole is different size or something and it's not sealing well, you can put this on there. These I've seen, they're not really necessary. And then we have our little striker plate and door jamb piece with some screws. And then the lock itself in some bubble wrap. Carmtek. So right here we have our 10 digits instead of, I think 8 is usually what is in there on the other ones. And then of course they include some batteries. We have 2 little key fobs here. There's our key fob, and this has a lock, unlock, and a lock, unlock. 2 different ones. I don't know if that's if you wanted to. I'm guessing before I read the manual that this is for 2 doors, and then you could distinguish between 2 doors, but we'll read and find out. There's that. Here's our keys. Get some little cutters. Got our keys right there. So let's take a look at the manual. So 10-digit RV door lock. Set stronger and secure passcodes. 2 interior latches. Manually control the latch bolt and the deadbolt from inside. Alright, so that's pretty cool. That's one difference I've just now noticed. Is that some other competitors, you don't have that where you can control, see the door handle pops open here, but if you fling that, now you can't do it from the inside. And then this one controls your deadbolt, so that's pretty neat. 4-button key fob controls 2 handles with a single key fob. There we go, it says it right on the box. Sound volume control, choose between 3 volume options. Wireless remote control, heavy-duty construction, 10-minute easy installation, waterproof technology, backlit keypad. So, thank you Carmtek for sending this out. So we're going to throw the batteries in. All it is there are 2 screws back here. Cover slides off. Reinstall the cover. First things first, we need to get the old door handle out of our current camper, and there's just 1, 2, 3, and 4 screws, and then this plate will slide off. Second step, there's 2 screws right here next to the on the inside of the door part. So here is one of the most important steps when you're getting one of these locks, is that you want to make sure that this cutout is the same in your camper as it is for the drawings on the website. Now, Carmtek says that it is 2.75 inches, 3.75 inches here, and 1.5 deep. Okay, so Carmtek says now we're going to slide in the front of the lock here, and then we want to do our strike plate. But I have found out otherwise, at least for my camper, that it seems to work best to get the back plate on first a little bit, and then I could shimmy it and get the striker to fit. So you're going to have to just kind of mess with it and see what works best for you. But for me, that seems to work when I'm installing this. I don't know, maybe this one will fit just perfectly, but let's give it a shot and see. They do say to use their striker plate, but it's really the same thing as my current one. They do say that use their shorter screws, so I am going to use their screws since it's going into their lock. Alright, so now we do the same thing with this Carmtek lock. We got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which the other 2 were included here in the bag. So right now it's only got 2 in from the factory. But we're going to undo these. Once you get all 4 screws out, this can just come apart. Then you have your front plate and your back plate. So the first step is we are going to send the wires in first. This is just a signal wire for your key fob, so that just stays disconnected. But we're going to send this front part in from the front side of your camper. Wires first, so pull our wires through, and then we're going to nose in the latch portion. Just like that. So there you go. It is in the front portion. But here's what I'm talking about with these holes can tend to be a little hard to line up. So I have found that if I put the back plate on, it lines those up a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to do. Put the back plate on and then line up those holes right here for my striker plate. So you have to remember that these little levers have to be in the correct spot. There's only one way they can go on because these little rods have flat spots on them. So you just want to make sure those kind of line up. And you also have to plug this in. You'll hear it beep. And then that is going to get folded in. And then you just got to kind of line everything up. Now we need to throw in our striker plate with their shorter screws. Alright, after some finagling, I took my little striker plate off and I used my drill and I just drilled out right there. I used a 9/32 bit. When I removed my striker plate, you can kind of see back there, I just drilled that hole out a little larger, and that gave me enough to play with to get these screws in flush, I believe. I hate that you have to do that, but it seems like this is the second door handle I've installed, and I've had to do something like that. So it's kind of annoying, but Must be super hard to retrofit these accurately, I suppose. And so I'm going to screw these in, and let's hope that this all can stay where it should be. Okay, that did go in nice and neat. Now we'll tighten this down. Okay, everything seems to be working as far as once you get everything snugged down. And there's that, so you can't open the door anymore. This controls your little deadbolt there. And everything is working and secure. So now we just got to do the keypad. Alright, so there we are, installed. So if I wanted to drill that hole out a little more, I could probably get this to sit where it's perfectly straight. You can see there's a little bit more gap here. Not a huge deal, but anyways, let's get this started. So we are going to keep the 9 button pressed for 3 to 4 seconds, type in the default code of 1234, and press the lock button. We're going to type in the new code and press the lock button. We're going to confirm the new code and press lock. So we're going to hit this, and I'm just going to change the new code to 2345. So hold this down. Default code 1234 lock, and then we're going to type in the new code 2345 lock. Type in, confirm the new code, and press lock. Then we got a long code there. So let's try it. 2, 3, 4, 5, lock. I heard the lock go and I heard that beep. Sure enough, we're locked. 2, 3, 4, 5, unlock. And then we're open. So with this lock, they say the fob is already coded in. You don't have to do anything. So let's see. We're going to hit lock. Sure enough, we'll hit unlock. And that's it. And so if you need to reprogram the key fob, there is something you can go. They have instructions in your manual, and then you simply turn the fob switch on, which if you look in here, so right here we have the fob switch. There's an on and an off. So you just turn that on and press the fob sync. So right there above it is a little button, fob sync, and on your keychain they give you a little bitty pin that'll hit that sync button. And while keeping it pressed, press the lock button on your remote. So while you're pushing that, you have to push your lock button until the handle confirms the sync with a triple short beep. And then press the lock unlock remote button to confirm the actuation of the deadbolt, and then you're good to go. That's it. So this is just your volume of the beeps. You can have high, low, mute, and this is your code reset from here. You can just, if the code reset button's pressed, the fobs will need to be resynced. So, but that is it. So let's put it on low. We'll listen to what it sounds like. A little bit lower, and then of course if we put it on mute, we get no beeps. Just the lock. Y'all know that I am not one to shy away from DIY. And that is what it took to get the Carmtek lock put on my camper. And honestly, with other ones I've messed with, putting on my camper, it's kind of required the same little bit of shimmying to get it to fit exactly right. So that may just be my camper. I don't know. And every camper may be that way. Seems to me that, I don't know if something's off from the factory, not from Carmtek. I think this is probably, every one of them is built this way. But those two screws just not lining up and having to drill out a little bit, not a big deal. It's really not going to affect anything, and that locks on there and it looks great, works great, and I do love it. So I think it's more so on the manufacturing end of the campers that maybe they're not exactly right, or I really don't know, but no big deal. Little DIY, that's what this channel is about. So I'm super stoked to show Kelsey our little key fob and to get rolling. So Carmtek, thank you for sending this out. It's awesome that I can put in a more difficult code as well. I will be recoding our camper, and thank y'all so much for sending that out, and it's going to stay on our camper for a long time, and we're going to be able to see how well it holds up. So thank y'all for watching. We got a lot of videos coming up, and it's been awesome and real busy, but I'm so thankful to all my subscribers. So y'all take it easy, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.